Hello. Investigated the technology from 1800 to the mid-20th century. The result was that there were similarities between the technology of Tartaria when it was about to collapse completely and after it collapsed to let the New World Order take over. You may not know, the World Order of Tartaria, also known as the Kingdom of God, is also the Old World Order. It did not collapse immediately. The final location for the collapse was the city of Tartar in Beijing, China. You can see that through the book City of Tartar by David Ewing Jr. In that video, I mentioned investigating the technology of Tartaria before 1800 and comparing it with Tesla's ether electricity technology. If it is exactly the same, then it is highly likely that Nikola Tesla was the one who plagiarized the inventions. I have not found any weather control technology before 1800. So I will compare other technologies. Technology 1. Radar to detect underground objects. According to research by David Ewing Jr., terraced fields around the world are created by geological mining. The evidence is that current mining sites have sites that are very similar to terraced fields. The excavated soil or rock becomes a series of terraced mountains. The transportation of excavated soil during mining creates hills and mountains. One thing that is difficult to explain is that the hills are very high. So, what means of transport did ancient mining activities use to transport waste, and then pile it up into hills or mountains? Large cars like today cannot do it. So ancient mining technology before 1800 used some kind of solid object movement technology. If using today's technology, it is necessary to have a large machine with the same height as the hill or mountain. This machine will dig the soil or rock into a mountain with steps. The excavated part will be transferred by lifting from the digging position to the waste storage place. Of course, the waste collection place is the mountain or hill. It is important that the digging and cutting of soil or rock should create a step shape, because the step structure will minimize landslides. The terraced fields in Longsheng, China, have many places that show that there is no place for the mining machine to stand. Because the two bottoms of the steps are almost adjacent. So this is a sign that the giant machine did the digging work of soil or rock, then moved to another area quite far away. But another important thing is that the creation of this step can be calculated by programming after detecting an object deep in the ground. A mathematical program would provide the solution to how to do the job, including the starting position, the height of the steps, the number of steps. Of course, there are quite a few terraces created from random mining like today's mining. The curves of some terraces show signs of digital technology using mathematics as a basis for programming, creating a program to dig the ground. The purpose is to mine a certain object. This is suitable for the targeted object deep underground. This object can be very large or relatively small. It seems that there is a technology similar to computer numerical control called CNC there. If it is an object deep in hard rock, they can add additives to the rock during the cutting or grinding process. It is this additive that when combined with the rock powder, then transported into mountains, they produce a chemical reaction, and later can produce volcanoes. It is possible that the volcano was originally a deep pit, and then the waste from the mining process was brought to fill this deep pit to form a mountain. This shows that the people who dug the soil or carved the rocks were taking something. A simpler possibility, ancient mining technology was to dig up soil or rock, then use additives to mix with the crushed soil and rock there to exploit the chemical components in it. This is quite similar to ancient gold panning. In my opinion, both possibilities exist. But there are signs of mathematics and programming in the digging of the steps, so they were mainly looking for something, less mining. Mining served to produce certain devices. This is similar to today's mining to produce semiconductors, creating electronic components. The important question is, how do they know what object or something is underground to mine so deep? With today's understanding, to know something underground, you have to use radar to detect it. So before 1800 or before 1600, during the long war between the Knights Templar of Tartaria against Christianity and the churches, there was technology to detect objects underground. I don't know what that technology was. I'll call it radar. You may not know the Knights Templar were the ones who had the courage and strength to destroy and burn down Christian churches. They burned fake books about the Bible written by the monks. They were not Christians. This makes sense when David Ewing Jr. investigated that Jesus was actually in Europe, not in Jerusalem in West Asia. The Crusades were actually a war between the Knights Templar of Tartaria against the Christian churches in Europe. You can contact David Ewing Jr. via social networks to know this, or buy one of his books to know more, or watch his videos on YouTube. The Official History of the Crusades is a novel. Now I talk about ether technology after 1800 until 1937. I will go straight to the point. not to be long-winded. From 1841 to 1937, Nikola Tesla's radar detection technology was the best, detecting objects at a distance of up to 400 kilometers. Only radio waves are really effective in detecting underground metals, detecting submarines, and high-altitude aircraft. One thing is that no scientist dares to boldly say that the waves used in radar detection technology are electromagnetic waves. I only talk about Tesla technology because Tesla is the best at radar detection. In fact, radio waves that detect metals or certain objects are actually longitudinal waves generated by a Tesla transformer, also known as a Tesla coil. These are longitudinal waves, shaped horizontally by Faraday tubes, that is, they are perpendicular to the Faraday tubes that have already established tension based on the Tesla coil itself. That is, there are two effects at the Tesla coil, including longitudinal waves and transverse waves. Since 1915, there have been Tesla statements and articles about using radio waves to burn airplanes in the air. As I said last time, radio waves, if they are longitudinal electromagnetic waves, are faster than the speed of light, almost instantaneous. Tesla's 1917 proposal for directed energy submarine warfare, which included determining the location of submarines even if the hull is diamagnetic, and being able to destroy submarines with extremely high-energy directed beams. I will explain how it works at a basic level for many people to understand. Wireless power transmission is based on the polarity at the base of the tower is grounded, for example Tesla Tower, and the tower is a sphere or maybe metal like a sword. Under the ground there is a ground current, called telluric current. Above, mathematically and physically the ether is considered as a virtual ground. Wireless power is transmitted above based on the patent system of transmission of electrical energy 1897 of Nikola Tesla. The location of objects is determined by the coils on the radio transmitter side using frequencies to speculate. The frequencies at the base of the tower will be adjusted according to the speculation of the object to be detected as copper or aluminum metal, or other metals. This is the determination of frequency to find telluric current in space, or underground or underwater. The mathematics for this is a field I am not familiar with. If an object is detected in space, then Tesla's 1897 patent would apply to virtual ground, i.e., the polarity setting in space. Conversely, if the object is underground, or underwater, then the detection method would use Nikola Tesla's 1897 patent for real ground. When the telluric standing wave detector is active, it will find a state of virtual ground or real ground with what standing wave frequency. That means the telluric connection is already available for each metal. The frequency detection is stopped when there is a wireless power transmission connection, i.e., a closed circuit is active. At this time there will be a light, or a speaker to signal that the circuit is closed. And so the object has been targeted, even if it is moving. This is like we hold a mobile phone moving, but still within the coverage range. The detailed technology for this belongs to the military secrets of some countries. Because in theory, based on Nikola Tesla's patent for wireless power transmission, it can allow detecting objects deep underground, then transmitting energy through the direction of longitudinal waves. This can create underground explosions, earthquakes. People call this the death ray of Tesla, published in 1937 in a paper revealing only a few information. The question is, before any underground explosions? I don't know at the moment. But the thing is, based on the contours of the terraces around the world, it seems that modern mathematics was involved. Some of the sites that were excavated to create terraces formed depressions, as if they were digging something that was already in place. People would not dig terraces along curves like that. There is a mathematical program that is built into the software to control the machines that connect the digital program for creating such terraces. Now, let me consider technology 2, high voltage burning technology. Look at the 16th century map of Tartaria, the colored map of the Tartary. Printed in Antwerp in the year 1570. The large lakes and rivers have shapes similar to the phenomenon of high voltage wood burning. You can see videos of high voltage wood burning. It creates fractal geometry branches. However, the branches of the river are fractal shapes at a lower level, like lightning. It is possible that this is a crack caused by the ground cracking, and then forming rivers. However, the thickness of the ground surface is unknown. In Russia, according to the information, they have drilled 12 kilometers deep underground, but it is not finished. If the ground is a block with a limited thickness, then cracking like the lightning above is possible. And if it cracks in a way that it is in a wet state, then it dries, then cracks, then there must be a closed river in the world, like a polygon. You can see this when you look at a field when it is dry, then the ground cracks. It will be in consecutive polygons. If the river is formed by dry land cracking, then in the plains with dry polygonal cracked land, there should be polygonal rivers. However, I have looked at modern rivers, and mainly looked at rivers on the ancient map of Tartaria. I found that there is no polygonal river, but it is very similar to lightning. The electric burning at a point with high voltage creates a deep hole, at the same time the plasma rays will follow a shape quite similar to lightning. Its shape is related to the golden ratio. The dielectric field is oriented according to two rectangular basis vectors with golden ratio. However, this is a very long problem. Basically, it is similar to a directional electric explosion caused by a very large metal rod being planted. To cause the explosion process creates electric sparks, creating grooves like rivers. You can see this by searching for the keyword, lightning on the ground. There are lightning strikes on the ground. The shape is very similar to the rivers in the 16th century Tartaria map. You can search for the keyword about the map of rivers in your country, and try to see if it has the shape of a lightning bolt. An important thing is that the land burned by electricity is easily washed away. Just a big flood will turn it into rivers after the water recedes. About the Tartaria mudslide and the Great Flood, I will collect more evidence. Last words. Many events show that there were directional weapons before 1800. Accordingly, they used radar to detect mines, and at the same time took something underground. Based on the slope and curve of the terraces, it can be seen that there was a method similar to using software to control machines. Still the old question, did Nikola Tesla plagiarize? That is, did Nikola Tesla use Tartaria technology before 1800? All the facts about Tartaria that I have presented need more evidence and mathematical analysis to solve this problem. This is only a preliminary investigation, and cannot make a final judgment. This investigation needs many people to contribute their opinions and provide additional evidence. Maybe in the next videos I will give my personal opinion on this issue. While flipping through the documents, I found that Nikola Tesla had connections with Germany and Russia during the two world wars. Germany and Russia both had technology comparable to the US at that time. Thus, an important thing needs to be investigated further. Was Nikola Tesla actually working for a certain force in Germany or Russia? Nikola Tesla's important inventions published in the US were actually sent from Germany. This is an issue that I only propose to those who investigate history. And this investigation should probably go to the German library or museum. Actually, I don't have the economic conditions to go to Germany and America now. Here is an addition to the theory worked for some power in Germany. Tesla stayed in the 33rd floor of the New Yorker Hotel in 1934. And the door always had a do not disturb sign. Tesla lived in two rooms on the 33rd floor, 3327 and 3328. You can see that 2 plus 7 plus 2 plus 8 equals 19. We see the numbers 33 and 19 again related to Nikola Tesla. Because of this, I suspect that Tesla's history is being manipulated. What about the story about Nikola Tesla falling in love with a pigeon while staying at the hotel, which could have been written by an artificial intelligence in the 80s? As for the numbers 33 and 19, they are important codes in history since the fall of Tartaria. If you know the secret of the numbers 33 and 19 deeply, you will understand why you are here. I would like to introduce two books by David Ewing Jr., Tartaria, 33 Degrees in Tartaria, Secrets of Kabbalah. These are two books that investigate history, seek the truth, and decode the numbers 33, 19, and 666. Many people may only care about money, but they spend more than half of their lives still not understanding why they are not rich. These two books will tell you why you are not rich, and why you are here. David Ewing Jr.'s books always contain a lot of reliable information, as clues for historical investigations. The two books Tartaria, 33 Degrees and Tartaria, Secrets of Kabbalah are written very elaborately for researchers. The content I presented leads to some thoughtful questions as follows. 1/Why did the Knights Templar fail? Could the excavation of something underground be related to the weakening of Tartaria? 2/In China, there are quite a few volcanoes and terraced fields. Is it possible that there were not many people living there when the big machines were mining? 3/Why does the ancient map of Tartaria show that Japan has no rivers? Was Japan originally a mountain formed by mining? 4/ Does the processing of raw materials in mining make the sea water salty? You may find your own answer when reading the two books of David Ewing Jr. if you want to build a career by the path of fame, at the same time bring the truth to people, to build a better world. The arguments in Tartaria, 33 Degrees can help you. Because you can write a PhD thesis on the issues in that book. I don't need fame on my academic path anymore. Good luck to you.